Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Appa in case you are new here. So this video is going to be my coloring book collection slash declutter. The reason for the declutter is I have kind of learned what I enjoy coloring and what I don't. And there's certain styles that I just, don't go for anymore. And I also am working like 5 days a week, so to be honest, I don't always have the time to even look through some of these books. My collection is definitely not as big as some of the other ones out there, but I'm starting to prefer color by number books, and I'll talk through the other styles that I'm preferring to have in my collection. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. This is going to be a very long video, so definitely go grab a snack, grab a drink. I have this frost sparkling drink from Aldi, and I'm gonna be drinking that while I am filming this video with you guys. The first book that I have here is the Stress Relief Color by Line by Vivi Tinta. I love this book and I love the aesthetic of this book. I love the fact that it is a color by line. Anything color by line, color by number, I am gonna keep. My mom really enjoyed this book as well, so every time she comes to visit me, she also does coloring with me. So I actually got her a Christmas present, like a coloring book for her, a color by number book. So I'm gonna keep this. I've definitely, used a lot of it. A lot of this was also like my mom's doing, so I'm happy that, I discovered this, and I am going to keep that one. The next book that I have here is by Such and Such Deva. This is a nail art fashion vibes. I really have only colored once in this book, and I do want to color more. I love nail polish. If you follow my other content here on this channel, I love nail polish, so I'm going to be keeping this one as well. Likely most of the color by numbers I am gonna keep. The next book that I have here is Cool and Calm Coloring for Kids Magical Designs Color by Number. I think I'm gonna keep this as well. Am I gonna get through all of it? I don't know, but because it's a color by number, I do want to keep it. There's definitely like select ones that I want to do. Let me show you some that I have done in this book. So this is incomplete because I think I ran out of acrylic markers. So I'm actually doing this video also to see like my incomplete work and what I need to, finish doing. So I do like this book, so I'm gonna, keep that one as well. Then we have some Christmas coloring books. This is not necessarily color by numbers, but it does kind of give you like an inspiration. I got this one from Ollie's. You see, so it gives you like inspiration like this. So just looking at that, finding some inspiration, I will go ahead and try to color in this book. This winter, I think I have like 2 Christmas books. I'm thinking whether or not I want to keep the other one. Let me show you the other one that I have. I really like this one as well. I think I like this one more than I like the other one. Really cute. I think I'm gonna keep it because I really like the art in this one. So I've done this one, so I'm gonna keep it because this particular brand, the Design Originals, that's a very good brand. Like their paper quality is pretty good, and this paper is great for acrylic markers. So I am gonna keep both of them. No declutter so far. The next one I have is by Coco Wayo. This is a Relaxing Corner. I have only colored maybe like once or twice in this book, and I really like her artwork. I used a pencil here. This was one of my first works of coloring, so it's, you know, my skills are a little bit better now. This is like an incomplete page. I do like interior design, so I think I'm gonna keep this, try to learn more techniques, and, you know, use this book. I'm gonna look up if you know, YouTube has more tutorials on this specific book, so I'm gonna keep that one as well. Then I have this book from Bendon, and I got this one from Ollie's for like $1.99. This is all sweet themed, and to be honest, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this because I just don't use it. I haven't touched it at all. I'm always reaching for the color by number books. Hopefully you guys can like see okay. So I'm likely gonna get rid of this. So one declutter so far. Then we have these coloring books. This is Flowers by Design Series. And I got this from, where did I get it? I think Dollar Tree. I'm likely gonna give this one away. I think I've only colored once and it wasn't so bad. I mean, this was like, again, during my early days. These are not my favorite pencils either anymore. So yeah, I'm probably gonna, you know, go ahead and get rid of this one. I just have more books that I use now, so. This is a really good one with like gel pens. But again, like the paper quality, I don't know. Not too bad, honestly, not bad. I think these were like some of my early coloring days. I really like that one. I don't know. I'm just not touching it, guys. So because I did color in this, I do want to document my coloring work. So I'm actually doing this for a lot of my art stuff. So I am, you know, taking pictures of what artwork I have done and then junk journaling it so that I have like a memoir of what artwork I have done. So I think I'm gonna save this one and maybe even this one, but eventually I am going to declutter after I take these pictures, after like I scan them and then just, you know, junk journal in the junk journal for my coloring pages. So let me just put this in a separate pile. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this like over here. And then I have this particular book. This is Charming Oriental Food. See, when I really want to get into the pencil coloring stuff, I really get into it. As you can see, you know, I colored the sushi part. I am likely gonna declutter this book as well, again, because I did color in it. I am gonna take a picture of this and then eventually get rid of it because I know I'm just not using it. I know what I like these days, and for that reason, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. This particular book, Pumpkin Spice Jesus Christ, I got this one from, oh my gosh, I don't even remember. I think it was Ollie's. Let me see if I even have any. So I started this and I never finished it. Oh, this is so cute, you guys, but it's just so detailed and I just don't do details anymore. You know, so because of that, I'm probably gonna get rid of this, unfortunately. I don't know. I'm having a hard time here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, get rid of it. Not because I don't love God. You know, I do my scripture coloring stuff, or sorry, scripture junk journaling stuff, and I just filmed a haul for that. But in terms of like coloring books, I don't think that particular book is my cup of tea anymore. Just, you know, very detailed, and I just don't do that. And if it was a color by number, I probably would have saved it, but I just don't like the idea of picking my own colors anymore. Let's see, this one, I think I just got this with some markers, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this one. You know, might as well just give it to somebody who is actually going to enjoy it, right? So I got this one by a J. Quinnell, and I haven't really colored in it that much. And this is a color by number, by the way. This is, I think, the only page that I've done so far. So some of his designs are very unique. They're not your typical floral garden kind of thing. And this is all botanical themed. So I am gonna save it and, you know, try to do as much as I can. Most of these color by number books, I am, you know, like I mentioned earlier, probably going to save. This one is Cute Food. This is from Dollar General. Just not using it. I think I've only have like one incomplete or something. I think it's in the other book. I'm just not using it, guys. I'm just not using it, and it's gotta go. It's not a bad book for $3. I mean, this is a pretty good book. So, you know, I'm just gonna give it to somebody who actually wants to discover this hobby. I have done this hobby, you know, over the year, and I just know what I like at this point. So I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye to that. And then I have this one, which is Homegrown Advanced Coloring, also from Dollar General. I did this particular page, so I don't know if I want to like finish it and then give it away. So I'm likely gonna try to finish this and then give away. So this is going to be a separate pile. So let me see, these two actually go over here and this goes over here. All right, let's keep moving. We have this one from Ollie's. This was my first coloring book, actually. And look at this. This was like way early. This is all with like gel pens and watercolor markers. You can see like the patchiness on her face. Oh my goodness. I prefer alcohol markers now. And there's an incomplete page right there. So because this was my first coloring book, I am gonna try to, you know, memoir this and then get rid of it. So this is going to be in the pile over here. This is Cityscapes Glow in the Dark. I think this is just too teeny tiny for me. Yeah, way too detailed, and yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of this one. I actually want to get the Travel Color by Number by George Tufex. Some of you guys may be familiar with that one. You know, illustrator, I should say. And I really like one of his books, which I will show you in a little bit. And because I want that color by number book, I am gonna go ahead and get rid of this one. And again, I keep putting it in the wrong pile, you guys. Okay, Beauty in the Bible, an adult coloring book. I got this one from Five Below by Paige, Tate & Co. Honestly, I think I'm gonna keep this one. I do like the aesthetic of this one a little bit more than the other color by number book. Or not color by number, but the pumpkin spice book. I like this particular book, so I am gonna go ahead and keep this one. So this is a keep. Then we have Boss Babes, and I am a boss babe, but I am trying to be more in my feminine energy. I'm sure this is a great book, but I've realized I'm not the biggest fan of coloring people. Like, I think I struggle with that. And it's funny because this is one of the more newer books to my collection, I think. I got this one right before I moved to Syracuse, so it's been about like 8 months. I don't know. This is all like mainstream people, like popular people. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye and have someone else, you know, buy that one. Then I have this Landscapes and City coloring book. This is actually a very good book. I have done, you know, select pages here, and I do want to, you know, see what else I can do. I feel like this is one of those books which I want to save, but at the same time I don't want to color like every single page, and I would have to really just go through to see which pages I want to color. This is kind of giving me a popular book vibe, and I'm wondering if it's like inspired by one of those popular books. Again, a lot of houses. I'm not sure. So this is a maybe in the keep pile. So we'll just keep it. Okay. Then I have these books from Five Below. To be honest, I'm not reaching for it. Let me just look through them. I just haven't reached for them in like such a long time, so I feel like I'm just not gonna reach for them, because I have some other books from Five Below which I wanna color in more, and I'll show you those. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and say goodbye to this. That was Terrarium, and then this one is it all like succulent themed. I like succulents, and I actually have a succulent book from Five Below. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye to this one as well. Don't need like several. This one, self-care coloring book by Fariha. Do you see when this is like my first set of alcohol markers, and it was so bad, you guys. Like it was so bad. It was not a very good quality of, you know, alcohol markers. And I'm actually going to go ahead and get rid of those alcohol markers because they're not the best quality. You can see like how patchy it is. I don't know. I don't really like books like this where it's too, like the pictures are too big. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. I actually did return it, but they refunded me, but they didn't want the product back. So that's the only reason I really kept it. This is not really a coloring book, but it is like watercolor painting at home. I bought a bunch of books from Ollie's, and I don't know what I was thinking. So I do like the arts, you know, the pictures, the images and stuff in this. So I might use this as like a magazine for junk journaling. So I'll keep this book for that reason, mainly for junk journaling. But I'm gonna cut it up anyways. Then next one is also a self-care coloring book. I just mentioned to you guys I don't really like coloring people as much, but I love the aesthetic of this book, and for that reason I'm likely gonna keep it, and I'm gonna try to use like higher quality alcohol markers in these books. Yeah. Just to, you know, kind of do something different, something that I'm not actively doing. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this particular book. Moving on to some more books. I have so many books, you guys. It's crazy. Woof. Glorious Gardens Color by Number by George Tufax. We are gonna keep this one because I take this on an airplane with me every time I travel. I use my color pencils in this. I use my gel pens. I've used alcohol markers. They don't always work the best depending on the type of alcohol marker that you're using. This was like a cheap kind, and that's the one from Artify, I think, and it came all dry and it had like a brush tip. I recently did start coloring in, you know, this page with the alcohol markers, and I do have to finish this one at some point, likely this weekend. I'll try to do it. Let me just show you some of the gel pen stuff that I did. Like, look at that, how beautiful that turned out. So I am gonna keep, you know, George Tufek's book, this particular one. I don't have any more from him, I don't think, but I do plan on like purchasing more of his books because I do really enjoy his books. Then I have this color by number. This is Summer Vibes by Alexander Francis. I love her art. I use this all the time during the summertime, so I am going to be keeping this one. This one is something I recently bought during the summer. Then I have this particular book. I am almost done with this book, and this is by Color Questopia, and it's the Spring Mandalas, and I am absolutely loving this book. I love this book so much. My mom has, you know, colored in this, so I like this book, so I'm gonna keep that. The next book is Mindful Patterns by Roddy Tinge. I have colored the crap out of this, so when I was working night shifts, I would take my coloring book, you know, with me and just color my heart out when there was downtime. And I am gonna, you know, keep this one. There's not that many pages left that I need to do, but I do want to keep this one, and once I'm done with that, then I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it. Okay, then we have a Stained Glass Countryside, and I mentioned before, you know, I like the countryside type color by number or coloring books in general, so I am gonna keep this, and I'm gonna make it a point to, you know, try to use them up. Then I have this particular book from Such and Such Deva as well. This is 50 Autumn Mandalas. I've only colored in this twice. This is one of the more recent books in my collection, so I am gonna keep this. Yeah, love, love, love that. And then this book by Color Questopia, you can tell I love Color Questopia and their color by number books. Another one of my favorite brands. So Such and Such Deva, his art style I don't always love, but I do like the art style of like Color Questopia artists and George Tufek's, and what's the other one? I think that's it. Those are the two, and Alexander Francis, there we go. So I've colored in this quite a lot. I've used acrylic, I've used, I think my camera got warm, but I was saying I've colored in this book a lot, as you can see. You know, definitely my color by number books have the most use out of all of the books that I own. And yeah, I'm going to keep this one. And just to mention to you guys, from now on, we'll only be buying color by number books. I don't plan on buying like regular coloring books, with exceptions, but mostly the color by number books. Let me go grab some more books and I'll be right back. I really needed to do this video, guys, because I didn't realize how many coloring books I had. This is crazy. And I had to like move all this stuff. So I'm looking at my pile of my keep pile and my giveaway pile, and I'm like, this is a lot of books. This is a lot of books. I don't know what got into me last year. Okay, Kokowayo, Girl Moments. I'm keeping this because I have really been getting into watching YouTube tutorials, and there's so many tutorials, you guys, online on this particular book. Like, look, I never thought I could color like this. Do you see that? It's not the best work, but it is still something. And I love her artwork. I love her aesthetic. And for that reason, I am definitely going to keep this, because there's a lot of tutorials on YouTube. And some days that's what I need, is like, I need inspiration. And this book has a lot of, you know, videos. So for that reason, I am definitely going to keep this. Hello, not going anywhere. This book by Kokowaya, Comfy Patterns. Not as many tutorials, but there are still some people, you know, who have this book. And I'm gonna keep it. This is something I did kind of just on my own. And which one did I watch a tutorial for? There was one which I watched a tutorial for, and I don't remember. I think it was this one. I just used like different colors. And I also watched a tutorial for this one. So, you know, there are some tutorials, not as much, but this particular book, it's still, you know, the artwork is still small enough that I enjoy it. And it's not overwhelming, and it's perfect for alcohol markers, of course. So for that reason, I am going to be keeping this Kokowaya book. Okay guys, the next one, Joanna Basford's Rooms of Wonder. Every single person in the coloring community, they're talking about this book. I love her art. I don't know what it is. I love her art. It is detailed, but I know with patience I can get this done, because look, like, I did this on my own. It's not the best work I've done, but I started something, and then I showed you guys, you know, this, and I did that on my own. So there are a lot of tutorials on this book, and that is the reason as to why I want to keep this one, because there are several tutorials, and I love watching the tutorials and doing it that way. And that's the reason as to why I also like the color by number books, right? They're telling you what colors to use, so you don't have to think so hard. So for that reason, I am gonna go ahead and keep that one. This is stained glass color by number. I have not really touched this book very much. It's great. It's really great quality. Definitely acrylic. How did I get the inspiration for this? I don't know. Is there like something in the back that I looked at? Oh, okay. So yes. So I did look at like a color palette to kind of have an inspiration. I would definitely use like an acrylic marker in this particular book. And this is all like plants and stuff, and I like my plant books. So I don't know. I'm struggling, guys. I'm struggling. I don't know. I think I'm gonna get rid of this. I think I just have other books that I want to use more. Just looking at the pile, my keep pile. And again, I'm gonna try to save my work, my artwork, and then give the book away. But it's a good book. It's not a bad book at all. It's just that sometimes I don't really want to think about like the color palette. So for that reason, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. Let me just put this right here. So it's one of, actually it needs to go over here. So I'm gonna take a picture of the work that I have already done, and then just go ahead and get rid of that. This book, Autumn Charm by Teresa Goodrich. This is my favorite book. This is definitely one of my favorite books when I want to play with pencil. And I have my moments when I definitely want to play with pencils. As you can see, I've, you know, colored. I definitely looked for inspiration, and that's how I got to the color palette but I do like the artwork in this particular book. Even though it's intimidating at times, it allows me to step out a little bit out of my comfort zone and try to use my color pencils. So this is also going to be a keep. Yep. All right, the next one is Inspiration Color by Sticker. I am gonna keep this, and I was actually looking at it earlier, and I'm actually going to use this as junk journal pages as well after I'm done with like the sticker part. So this is going to be a keep and then use it for junk journal. The next one is Kaleidoscope Coloring Cottagecore poster art, and I do like the art in here. Am I going to be able to color in all of the pages? Probably not, but I still really like this particular book. I probably wouldn't color in that because it's just a lot and likely wouldn't enjoy it. Probably not that either. Maybe this one. Maybe the mushrooms. So yes, I'm likely going, definitely this one. So I'm likely going to, you know, use this book. And I love anything like interior design style, you know, and aesthetic, like the Kokowaya books. So yes, I am gonna keep that one because that was a recent purchase not too long ago. And then finally I have this particular book. This is Plant Life, also by Kaleidoscope Coloring, and I'm likely going to keep this one. Again, I like the modern aesthetic. You know, I did this one. I think the background I did like gel crayons, color pens, not color pencils, but gel pens, and then markers, like alcohol markers. So I am gonna keep it. Even though I don't have any live plants in my house, I do like the aesthetic of like succulents and stuff. So I'm going to keep it, and I'm going to have, you know, select pages that I'm going to try to color in this particular book. Okay guys, so let me show you what I am getting rid of and what I am keeping. Okay guys, so once I am done taking the pictures from these books, I am going to get rid of them. I'm also definitely getting rid of these books from Ollie's. I just was going through a phase last year, and you know, now I know what I like and stuff, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. This is the pile I'm keeping. Still a lot, I feel like, but it is stuff that I am going to use. So that is it, you guys. That was my coloring book collection / declutter. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what your style of coloring is, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.